You're watching Lansdowne, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia. We're here tonight. We're going to talk about the Ireland's review. It sounded great when I did the rehearsal for this. But anyway, we are going to be talking about the international window. Martin and myself, we were there. So were you. We're going to talk to you guys about that. Plus, Hill in the clear. And we're going to talk about who also wants John O'Shea to get the job. And we're not talking Martin. All this and more coming up on Lansdowne Roar Live. Well, I buggered that up. I don't think they noticed, Martin. Jesus. What was it somebody said to me? That's James said it to me on. But that's the charm of the podcast when you mess up. It's a bit early. We won't use any bad language because the algorithm will kick us off. The YouTube algorithm. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast. And as always, if you like what you hear, love what you see, hit that subscribe button, scan that QR code, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. So, this is their review. Martin and myself were at both matches. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from the wonderful Roar faithful. Have your say, get involved. We are Irish football's most interactive podcast out there. And we're by the fans, for the fans. Any other euphemism, any other slogan we can throw at you there. Have your say, get involved. Right, Martin, how are you doing? I haven't had you on the podcast for a while, actually. We had a younger
thanks, Dave.
version.
We had Stephen Hunt off the bench last night. Fantastic! What a cameo. Well done to Connor. Stepped in ably and very, very knowledgeable. You know, he's definitely in contention for a starting place in the squad going forward. Fair play, brilliant interaction. His knowledge put you to shame, Dave. His pronunciation of some of the players who represent Ireland again. Brilliant. I thought it was wonderful insight after the game last night. Really enjoyed the show. I caught up with it on my way out from Lansdowne Road, and it was a good international window. I enjoyed it, and I met up with some of the Raw faithful. Must give a shout out to Jason Fitzsimmons. I met him on both games actually.
You did.
Really lovely lad. He introduced himself as a member of the Raw faithful, so a big shout out to him. And we had a good chat, and it was good to get his insight, and a younger lad, following Ireland, explaining why he has the love for the game and everything, and what he wants to see from his travels, and
never experienced any of the good times. Bless him.
No, I know. I mean, look, it did age me, to be honest. I felt very old when I was chatting to him because I was talking about things, and I was talking to you just before we come on air. There, lots of anniversaries today, isn't it? Which will probably come on.
Mick's first game against Russia, the 2-0 at home.
Wembley 91.
Wembley 91. We'll get to those in a bit.
Yep.
No, I feel very old talking to you as well, Martin. Just listening to you, Jesus, ages me. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned anything, Martin.
Jesus Christ! Oh no, that's not the right JC I mentioned in there. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I like your shirt, Dave. Very nice. Look
Thank
at you. Hey, look at that.
Yes. Not very good. I
contributing to Irish football, I'm sure by that. Do they still? Is the supplier who provided that shirt? Is it still where the FAI money? Is it? How are we going to chat to the government about that?
I don't know. I don't live in Ireland anymore.
Some of your Dublin mates probably. You caught up with them and you went raiding factories, did you? For the offcuts?
No, that was a very long time ago. No. I went into Elbrys and the day of the Belgian game, and actually found a load of stock, and I thought I'll have some of that. This is no sponsor. Hold on, look at that. No sponsor thrusting me out pelvis. Not for the first time on camera. Well, it's hard for me to go on. But basically, yes. Liquidated stock. €30. I don't think you got your one, Martin. You had a little nibble at me before we went on.
You know what though? If you do recall, I discovered that shop previously. I got the goalkeeper shirt there, and they had some of the black Umbro shirts, I think, there that were previously. So yeah, that does seem to kind of they have a look through the stock from there and find a few the sacred jerseys from previous days gone by. So yeah, I mean, look, on the subject of the merchandise and stuff, we did put up a clip, didn't we, yesterday? Cathal Chu, member of the club, discovered on his shopping trip around Grafton Street.
I just want to take this opportunity to apologise to Gottel. He is having more BA trouble actually, and I hope you is watching. We will get your comments here. Actually, we'll get to this one comment here first. Thanks for another BA flight. F up. Only on my way home now. We'll miss the start and probably most of tonight's show. We're very sorry to hear that, Cottle. We hope you get home. Cottle, who actually also missed the game against Belgium because of a BA mix up. And I just want to apologise to him actually because I thought this was your photograph, Martin, so I gave the credit to yourself. But this was the photograph that Cottle took. And there he is looking at the scarf in the... What shop was that in? Was that the Grafton?
It's Castore or on Grafton Street. I think there's a shop or one of the sports shops there. So
the old H&M. And
yes, the old H&B, yeah.
And he misspelled, as you can see, there's apparently one L in football. There you go. Who knew? I was in that shop, and yeah, it's all a bit crap, to be honest. But yeah, Carl, we hope you get home okay and in one piece. And
I do have an update on that. Is that I know that photo was actually brought to the attention of the FAI's kind of commercial.
Good, we plastered it everywhere.
Yeah, and they were dealing with it is the feedback. So interesting times, but it does reflect very poorly in Irish football, and I hope no one brought it. And
yeah, look, I mean, without giving the FAI plenty of welly, and they've done things. I mean, that's a bit difficult. They're not going to be aware of all the bits of kit that's going out. You know what I mean? Like that's a story mess up or complete. But then, of course, we knew this is what a story do. So yeah, unfortunate. Also, Martin, you're out meeting the stars, weren't you? You had
there he is. There. Yeah, look, there he is. Look,
yeah. Please play
young Roy
Keane. Play Callum. Please play Callum. Please play Callum for me.
There was none of that now. I was out and around at the team hotel just on both occasions, just to kind of catch up with some people. I won't name any people that I was meeting.
Really, you've been naming them off.
Fair, I have. Yeah, pick that.
Oh, jeez, there's a name up. What's that over there, Martin? You dropped the name.
Oh, I did have a chat with Packy Bonner. I saw Mick McCarthy out there. Now he was on. I did tease you all on that one just to say, oh, guess who I've seen is going to be Mick 3.0. I did mention that in the pre-match. He's on media duties. I did obviously, I do, in all honesty, keep myself to myself at the team hotel where I stay.
No, you don't.
I do. I wish John O'Shea good luck because I had wished him luck.
This is Martin keeping himself to himself.
That's the only one. When I'm with Keane, it's a bit different. But anyway, I wish the lads well. Said hello to Seamus. But I was chatting to Packy Bonner about a few things. I had breakfast with Johnathan Hill this morning. I was going to throw the paper in his face just to let him see the front of the back page of the Independent where it said that he was on the ropes, and we'll come on to that, I'm sure. But one thing, like I say hello, then I leave everybody alone. I'm busy enough and things. But sorting tickets, Dave, you missed that one. But
I'm actually
I do love the way Packy's interaction with the lads is obviously they know him. He's inspirational and a legend of Irish football, of course. But I even see him today now wishing Evan Ferguson all the best and saying like, you've got to keep going now, and little motivational words. And I hope it does sink in with some of the players because, fantastic figurehead for Irish football, Packy, whether you like it or not. And I think this is the best intentions. And I had some interesting chats with people over the weekend out of different views and about different things. I obviously can't go into everything I was talking about with just different people, to be honest. But I just think it is a good opportunity. Like I spoke quite in depth with someone about Mark Canham and the football plan and how we think that's going to work and stuff. And
I've heard he seems to be quite well thought of, actually, Mark Canham.
Yeah, like I think, I thought he came across very well when he presented the thing, and he'd done the interview, didn't he, with Kieran, which was really good. I thought he spoke fantastically well on that. And I know that Johnathan Hill's been taking a bit of a step back in kind of the kind of prominence on behalf of the associations, I suppose. But I think it's been a bit of a difficult time for the association and the games. We know that results wise didn't go fantastically well. But, I am Mr. Positive, as I always say. And, I think we have to start somewhere with that. We're at a very low ebb in Irish football. And I think there's no point just going, oh, we didn't do this. And, I even I posted on Facebook today my thoughts on the starting lineup and how they got on yesterday, and you know, the kind of perception that John O'Shea he should have been experimental. It wasn't John O'Shea's remit to be experimental in these
let's
games.
get into that. Let's get into that, right? So the 2 games. And by the way, guys, see your comments coming in there. Keep them coming in. Anything we're talking about here, do you have what you make it a story kit? What you reckon of Martin trying to get Callum O'Dowda on the starting lineup? Keep him to himself. What you think of this gorgeous shirt? Actually, Martin, what does it say on my tag?
Proud owner of twin lanyards.
You want to see my lanyards? Is that what you're saying? Well,
Oh,
Martin, you are in for a treat, son. Hold on.
Oh, for God's sake.
One.
Yeah.
One here. And look at that. They're back. They are back at it. They said to me, "Oh, by the way, if you want to hand them back at the end of it, we're recycling." I was like, yeah, sure. Side door.
Well, you nearly kicked out, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you're not yet a face up there. You're not a face.
No, I created too much. I was the reason why I wanted to keep me out.
I heard that you were getting kicked out at one stage, and I thought it was McCool howling, going around being the mascot, but it was, "Oh, McCool, help me, McCool."
No, actually, yes, they were going to. They were going to escort me off the premises, Martin, but it was actually for my own safety because the fans were just coming at me, and it's like they were trying to rip the trousers off me and everything, which I was like, fantastic, but
I did see. Did you see the photo? Mark Ty and Paul Rowan. Did you see that?
I did.
How cool was that?
It was. Very. I love those. The book that those lads wrote, which I'm in, by the way. Just are you in that book, Martin?
No, but the title of the title of the book is me, isn't it?
It is you, isn't it? You're going to be the second one that you go after. No. It was great to see those two together. Of course, Mark Ty is now at the Independent, formerly of the Sunday Times, and Paul Rowan still with the Sunday Times. But no, I still haven't met Mark yet. I've spoken to him on Twitter, but no, good lads and fantastic book, Champagne Football. Security. Yes, I did almost get kicked out of the game on yesterday. Jet lag, lad. Sorry, and
fucking hell, it was an hour journey. Are you tired here?
Martin, when you are this creative, as I am, we're very sensitive souls, writing 2 articles and all that in the program, by the way, worth the €7. Just saying. Yes, basically, it was so funny because when I was doing the preview, that nobody could hear because the microphone was shit. Sorry about that. Basically, I was like, "Oh, your video can't be monetized." I was like, "Oh, okay," because I think the music playing.
Oh, right, yeah.
which is a problem. We don't really push the preview or the pre-game. And then I see a couple of lads kind of standing outside staring at me. I'm like, go to the toilet, and I come back out. There's like 4 of them. And I'm like, okay. It's like, can we have a word with you, sir? I was like, oh God, what's happened here? And basically, it was just a mix-up on accreditation. I had the right to be there. It's just. It was just a mix-up accreditation, and the dogs are okay, but I get it. It was all squared, But I was like, "Are you joking me? Like, match is about to start." Like, anyway, so all fun. Speaking of which, people are in places that shouldn't be. Martin. Oh yeah, Mark was up to say hello, not in the media section. Just want to make it very clear, he was not in the media section. He did have a ticket. He was on the other side of it, but
I had loads of tickets.
You did you?
I had loads of it. And now I have to clarify this. Loads of people didn't claim their tickets from West London. So I went in 320. I was in 508. I was going around meeting some of the members, giving out badges, but I was able to get around, which was useful. So that's why I did pop up and visit you, Dave.
You did indeed. And I was like, Martin, look, just you get some trouble. And keep a low profile, and Martin gets a picture taken, and this is what happens. Brilliant.
I took a photo, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right in
posted
the
it
screen.
onto the big
Put Koi
screen
Big.
to get it on the
Put Koi Big on the hashtag
That
on
was
the big
brilliant.
screen.
I did it the last time as well. I love that. I
And
think
there's Connor.
that's a fantastic initiative. I'm gonna be a little
That
bit
is very
negative
good.
about something now. I don't know if you're
Uh,
gonna cover up
here
at
we
this.
go.
Charlie O'Leary, brilliant. 100 years
Yeah.
birthday, coming out on the pitch. What a wonderful reception. Didn't video it, didn't put it on the big screen. That was a big failure there. I'm just gonna give some
Yeah.
positive, hopeful feedback. A lot of lads around me were going, "Oh, where is it then? Where is he then?" Because it was just the stills, and yet he's on the pitch, and people kind of didn't really realize he was pitch side. So it would have been really good to see him on the big screen. But
Yeah.
fair play, he got a great reception anyway.
Picture was from I think it was 2000 when we played Greece. He came on the pitch and got a presentation. I actually have that
Yeah,
footage. Um, it's in the
and then it was the
Lansdowne archive.
'88 photo with Ray, wasn't it?
Yeah, the famous one. Anyway, we're gonna get. God, we're 16 minutes into it, but just talk a bit about John O'Shea, and then we're gonna open it up to the Roar faithful. So see those comments coming in, keep them coming in. We are gonna get them. We're gonna be here till the bitter end. So yeah, obviously Belgium look good, look promising. I mentioned we had 3 big chances. 3. What are you laughing at?
I'm just reading some of the comments coming through. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, keep them coming in, guys. We will get through them all. But yeah, basically, 3 major chances. Obviously, lovely football from Smolix, lays on Benny, through ball, knocked down by Big Ev. For Smolix to go through, should have done better. And then there was a chance from Robbie Brady crossing. 3 big chances. One of them should have gone in. 3 completely different areas, like 3 completely different parts of the pitch. Mixing it up, we looked aggressive. We looked really good. And then, as I said, we'll need to see what happens against Switzerland. And it was the complete opposite. Didn't look at all as we looked very, very pedestrian. No real, very lethargic, no real impetus, no real aggression, no intensity. And we didn't really do much and basically just stood off. And I have to say, Martin, I wasn't very impressed with John O'Shea on yesterday. I was very impressed with him on Saturday, but I thought yesterday was a real when a team have sat back and watched you and done their homework and how you're going to play, they obviously had done their homework and they adapted. We did have the element of surprise against Belgium, new manager, didn't know what way he was going to set up and couldn't really handle us at times. And then we're playing Switzerland, who had obviously done their homework, had us. I mean, they're so technically pure. It's ridiculous. It's actually embarrassing to us. They just ping the ball around, one touch passes, boom, 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 and we were just kind of, feeding off scraps. It was a bit like watching. It was actually a bit like watching a Brian Kerr team. Funnily enough. So yeah, I have to say I didn't think I read your piece. I mean, good piece, but some of the bits I was like, "Are you joking me?" Like you were happy with the substitutions?
No, I could understand the substitutions, is what I said. And I mean, yeah. So just to kind of come back on your original point, and if you're thinking about the contrast from last night's performance to Saturday's, Belgium didn't come there needing to do anything. They use it as a training ground exercise basically, and they played in a certain gear. They were more focused, I think, dare I say it, on the game at Wembley last night. Whereas Switzerland did do their homework. They were excellent for half an hour until we figured it out, basically. And that was my point from my article. If you look at it, I think John O'Shea actually said it as well. We were chasing shadows for the first half an hour of that game. I think that was much to do with really Mr. Ogbene's kind of pressing and presence. So the energy he brings to
It's
it,
also
we really
because
did miss.
Switzerland had done their diligence. Like
They had.
watched the
But
match
you have to adjust and you have to close down spaces. And it was why it looked so impressive, Switzerland popping the ball around, because they weren't actually going anywhere with it in a sense, though. To be fair, they were just switching sides, moving. I mean, the interaction. I felt they did target Seamus Coleman's side, which is mad in a way because Smolix obviously was in front of him, and Smolix I thought was our best player. But maybe they thought that Schmolix was going to be the most attacking threat for us. So, they can expose kind of gaps he might leave or maybe his experience. But, I mean, I'm amazed that Coleman got man of the match, but because he looked very sluggish to start with. He started again slowly, I thought, on Saturday. So I didn't actually think he'd probably be capable of having the 2 games in him. But fair play to him, he has.
He shouldn't have played
brings that experience.
I don't think he should have played the 2 games, Martin. Like, what's the point in bringing Festia Baselli? Here's a
No,
lad,
yeah,
and
yeah, but I'll come on to that point in a minute. Do ask me that question again. But what my point about the chasing
asking you
shadows
now.
was no, they were going nowhere though, right? So, but it was just not closing the gap, and you could hear actually the crowds were very quiet last night,
Yeah,
louder to be fair than they were on Saturday afternoon kickoff. Perhaps didn't help. I suppose the early afternoon, but no, my point is that they you could hear John O'Shea and you could see Paddy McCarthy, and they were like, and John
yeah.
O'Shea went back and they looked at the analysis and they looked at it and then they adjusted. They pushed the two wing backs higher and they kept encouraging the three to step out. So that's why Omar Bamadeli was being pushed and pulled around. It looked quite impressive how the lads were kind of being toyed with, but they were just, we put in some biting challenges. Seamus got done for a few of them, like back getting stuck in from behind, but we did nick the ball. And also Cullen got hold of the game then. They played a little bit deeper. They kind of closed those gaps up and they got into it. And that's where we started nicking the ball. Now, people slag off Cullen, but the work he did is unbelievable. And I
I
think
think
I think Jason Knight is a problem in that area because he's in danger of, as I've said in my article, in a
I
sense, he's in danger of just being a nowhere man. Like where is he going to be best for
yeah,
us?
easy to a bit like John O'Shea himself.
Mm.
No, I have to say I wasn't impressed at all, really. I say by it. I thought, they touched on it in Virgin Media as well. We were overrun midfield, and I thought they were very reticent to change things up. They had about 5 men in midfield. Switzerland. That's why they were pinging around. Like they were just
Yeah.
absolutely flooding the midfield. And we didn't really, I don't think we really did sort it because they were doing it in the second half as well. We had 2 men in midfield. I felt sorry for Cullen and I felt sorry for O'Shea as well and Smallbone when he came on because they needed help in midfield. And I just don't know why he
Yeah, but
wasn't able.
largely though we were dictated to by how they played and their movement interaction. But you do need that speed and pace, and yeah, you could argue Ebasele could have been in there to do that, with that energy perhaps. But they've got to close up the gaps. And what was happening then was the ball when it did go. I mean, I felt so sorry for Evan Ferguson. Very very tired. I thought should have come off a lot earlier than he did. Well, he didn't, did he? Like it's far too late. I didn't see the point to keep going with him because he gave the ball away a few times very late on and he couldn't even track back. He was absolutely wrecked. He'll have learned an awful lot from it though, but he's very isolated, and I just don't get where that where that support's coming from. And the midfield, look, let's just be honest, that's the problem area for this team. We haven't got a midfield, and
Yeah, but then you
we've
packed the
got
midfield.
people. Yeah, you do, but yeah, but with a load of run, and then the argument is what we've stifled them, and we've got
Well,
no creativity. Like that's my point. You missed Ogbene, and you miss against these teams. Our only attacking outlet then is transition when we nick the ball, and then we go and counter attack against
but we
them,
did. We
and
didn't
that's
even do
with
that.
pace and things. No,
We
we
didn't
couldn't.
even do.
Well, we did later on. We did, like because
Yeah,
Doherty did, and even Evan Ferguson getting it from deeper. We did
but I
have that
think.
later on.
But then, of course, they made a lot of changes by then. Like they sort of like they sorted out the game. No,
You could
I
argue as
actually
well why after half an hour as well why I'm saying Ireland corrected it. They'd scored by then, so they didn't have to do anything more then, did they?
exactly. I wasn't very impressed by it, to be honest. I thought it was very telling.
But my point is he did change it. He did. He pushed them higher and he kept encouraging them to go higher. And you could see they were quite irate on the bench watching it. So they did adapt.
Yeah,
Now
but they weren't
whether
listening.
that was the right thing. Yeah, but it's so difficult to do because you could just see the movement. Like the lad who was playing on Coleman, he was then going in a centre forward. Shaqiri's floating around doing nothing. I mean, he's just a weird looking fella, isn't he? But unbelievable footballer. And I know they were outraged about the free kick. I think like I made the point in my article and do have a look at it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on
My kind of
Lansdowne
review of the
page.
players. You know, Bazunu, distribution wise was very, very poor. And yeah, like it's a bit of a worry for me to be very honest, because I think he is he's a lot better than that. And he just seemed very sluggish last night and off it.
To be honest with you, I think Kelleher is a better goalkeeper than Mizuno. And when Kelleher has obviously shown when he's had a run that the only thing with Kelleher was rust. He needed match practice. We've seen how sharp he is for Liverpool. That it's like Alisson hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, okay, he wasn't great against United. Fair enough. That was a 4-3 game. Whatever. But I think that as a goalkeeper all round, I think he's just better than Bazunu. I'm not having a go at Bazunu. I know he's about 5 years older than him. But yeah, I think if Kelleher gets a move in the summer, um, then yeah, I think he has to be our number one. People like you cannot afford. Unfortunately, with a goalkeeper, he has to be quite ruthless. It was like Mark Travers; he was having a crisis of confidence, right? And that's terrible. Remember the Serbia when we lost 3-2 in Belgrade, but I'm sorry, it's like you make a mistake, it leads to a goal. 9.5 times out of 10, you got to replace that. He looked he didn't look very assured at all. Yet again, beaten by distance. He was very poor for the free kick. The wall was very poor for the free kick. Who organizes the wall? The
Well, it was his
goalkeeper
side,
and the
and he took
coaching
a
staff.
step. Yeah,
Yeah,
he took a
the
step to the
goalkeeper
left,
and
and it was his side.
the goalkeeper and the coaching staff, they're responsible because the coaching staff drill into the players what he wants, and the goalkeeper reaffirms that. But also, there's a bit of common sense. He's a pro now. He's playing week in, week out at Southampton. He should have set it up. He was very poor for that. And then he almost cost us another goal, 2-0, when he hit the ball to Granit Xhaka and he hit the post. So yeah, not great at all. To be honest with you, I hate to see it, especially with a young man as well. But if Kelleher has to be, you said to me, well, what's he done to not be number one? Well, there you go.
Yeah, but
Can't argue.
I kind of made the point now. I think again,
Mm.
how that perhaps was managed of you, like he's been number one for a long time, not done anything wrong. To bring in Kelleher, is that a message? Was that the right message? You could argue yes, it was or not. We know there's not much between them. Let's be honest. But maybe that's damaged him a little bit psychologically. Now I think he's strong mentally. He comes across very, very well.
I don't
Like
think
he'll
it's
bounce
anything.
back from this. He's a young goalkeeper.
No, he would have
Goalkeepers
been
make
told.
mistakes.
Well, he would have been told. No,
That you're playing the second game. But then is he
Yeah, he
thinking
would have
that?
been
Well, I'm
told,
not number one anymore. You don't know. But I was very disappointed with distribution because I've seen him for Southampton. He's a lot better than that. He's had quite a good season with Southampton. They have conceded goals.
If it was a qualifier, that's a whole different ball game. And I think if there were qualifiers,
Yeah,
Kelleher would have played both games because he's in far better form. And I'm sorry, but you can't
yes,
turn
yeah,
around and go,
yeah. No,
well, you were good for, you staked that penalty against Ronaldo a couple of years ago, so doesn't matter. Like you did that, so we're going to stick with you. We seem to do this in Irish football where we stick with a player. But you hit the crossbar in Euro 2016, Jeff Hendrick, he's a good player, and you see that. It's like, no, I'm sorry, it's about what you do now. It's about what you do in the last game. It's about what you're doing for your club, and club form is very, very important. And that's why I said about Kelleher. If it was a
yeah. I
qualifier, he
just
should
think
have
we
played
are.
both games.
Yeah, I get your point completely on the goalkeeper. I do agree with that. And but like we have as well this habit though of packing people away before they're finished.
Oh, he's not finished. He's not
No,
finished
no,
by any
I'm
means.
not saying him, of course. No, he's a young goalkeeper. I'm saying, but just
Yeah.
even some of our two of our better players. Let's be fair over this whole window. Seamus Coleman, right? I know he got man of the match, and I think that was dubious. But
Yeah.
he was solid in both games. He does still have a lot to offer. Now it is coming to an end, but he's going to be good around the place. Robbie Brady, I thought was fantastic from a technical point of view. I made the point in the article.
Yeah, he's selling
We
the
have
article.
so
He
we
wrote an
have so
article,
many.
folks.
We have so few technically proficient players. Sammy Smollick's lovely. I mean, that pass the other day, the one from the right, switching it. I'm picking out of a specific moment, but just the kind of assuredness to hold on to the ball, look after it. Very basics. I mean, I thought Collins was very good as well last night. I thought he was very good stepping out. Now, look, it's what they want to see from the players, but because there was an argument, wasn't there, before? Should he be coming into midfield? Would he go his legs and stuff like that in there? I don't really agree with that. I prefer him where he is. I actually think the back three were good over the two games. They'll be annoyed at the conceding of the free kick. But let's be honest, it was only a set piece that beat us.
Yeah, true.
And
I mean,
that's one good thing.
that's some. And the thing is with a set piece is that you could sort that because really that's a bollocking. It's like, listen, lads, you know what your jobs are. We've gone through it enough. Well, have they gone through it enough? Obviously, he's only had it for a couple of days, really, hasn't he, John O'Shea? He hasn't had the luxury of taking him away for camp. To be fair to O'Shea, we're seeing a lot of talk there. Like Rio Ferdinand has come out and said that he wants Sean O'Shea to get it. I wonder why, mates. Do you? I mean, there's still a bit. It kind of won't go away, will it? That it's going to be John O'Shea, and the players are coming out and they're saying. Now, I'll tell you this, right? I'd be very skeptical of players coming out and saying, "Yeah, we want this guy,"
They can't
because
say anything else in a press conference, can they? They sit next to them. They've
can't
got to give the sound bites of, oh yeah,
that
we're
as
really
well.
happy with this. They're not
But
going to turn around
I'd
any other
want
way.
I'd want somebody to go in. I think some of these lads being a bit too comfortable. I'd like to see someone go in and kind of stir not stir it up, but just sort of like get them out of comfort zone a little bit. There's a couple of players, a couple of pros there that probably have been there a very long time that probably need a kick up the hole, to be honest. And I'd always be quite I'd be quite reticent to listen to players. Oh yeah, you like him, do you? I don't know. It's just my suspicion of football
Yeah,
players.
I think he engaged very well with them. I think he spoke very well with the media,
Mm,
which look, that's a manager should be doing that. Let's be honest. Like we, kind of how low we fell with, and we like Stephen Kenny, but he just didn't have that media presence, and it was another thing to beat him with. But O'Shea said the right things. What he was trying to get in the camp. I think even Kerr coming out and speaking. It
mm.
was all the right vibes from camp, but
He's changed his
ultimately
tune, care, hasn't he?
he
It was
has.
all it
But
was
like,
all about results a while ago.
yeah, exactly. But like ultimately, yeah, again, it's easier said than done, isn't it? He's now in the camp. He's seen the players, probably seen the confidence levels, seeing what they kind of bring to it.
Yeah.
Um, I think he done everything okay. It was evidently an audition for him. I think in time he will be an Ireland manager. He may get it now. I personally wouldn't have a problem with it because I don't think it's that hard a job. To be honest, I think you get good coaches around you. Like we are complicating this massively. I know there's shouts for, we need a big experience manager and stuff. Yeah, ideally, but we're skint. This is on the radar for that.
Right.
I know it would all go back against what the FAI have said and what they want to do, but there must be something to the Carsley stuff, and
Well,
and that it wasn't going to come to fruition,
let's
and they've got to backtrack. They backtracked on dates. There's reasons why. That's it.
yeah, look, I haven't got a problem with that as long as they come out and say, look, if they come out and say we were supposed to get Carsley, but then he backed out in the last minute, which he does have a record of doing apparently, then okay, that's football. Things change. And I would be very like, yeah, look, that's what he did. What you want us to do. One manager who is linked and it will be a free agent in the next few days is Mr. Gus Poyet, of course, manager of Greece, who handed Stephen Kenny his head in 2 games, a battering over 2 games during the Euro 2024 campaign last year. They lost to Georgia on penalty, so Georgia will be going to the Euros. For congratulations to
Georgia were down to 10 men for the whole of extra time and half time. So
yeah.
it was a great result for them.
So there you go. Willie Sagnol, Georgia manager, was linked with the Irish job, and Gus Poyet was linked with the manager job. He even came out and said it. He goes, "Oh yeah, it'd be fantastic. I'd love to do, but we'll have to see." I was like, "Okay, it's a bit unprofessional. Not sure it's the kind of character you want." But this is what he had to say. Poyet's contract with the Greek FA ends on Sunday, and it's not expected that a new deal will be offered to him. 5 more days, he says. Now is not the time to talk about it. It's the time to analyze what happened tonight, he told the waiting media. For me, it was a privilege to be in this team, and I don't want to say anything about the future. It was a privilege to be here. How they treated me, how much they supported me within the team. Now we have to calm down, rest, and get ready for the next day. There's a lot of frustration. You've had no luck in the last 2 years, not even in a playoff draw. My players did everything they could in 2 matches. We did not concede a goal. Somehow we missed out on the Euros. The players did what we asked. So of course that's driven the speculation right up again. That's going to be him. But basically, he's out of contract in a few days. It doesn't mean anything, does it?
It doesn't matter me anything now. Speculation. I'm kind of bored of it, to be honest. I
You
personally
want
want
to
to see
Shay, don't you?
I want to see an Irish manager get it. I've got no problem Chris Hughton coming in, perhaps as a senior head of it. If John O'Shea's part of the kind of ticket, as I suppose is the kind of buzzword. Glenn Whelan as well, and Paddy McCarthy in there as well. I think that could be feasible. Maybe just have that figurehead. But John O'Shea, if we're going to give time to the manager, which we have to, like we're at a low ebb. I've said that before. This is a very young team. I mean, you look at the experience of, I think it was Switzerland, the average age above 27, I think it was, lots of caps between them. Our average age, I think, was below 25. They're still a very young team. They need a bit of love. They need help. They need experience. These coaches are learning so much at these. All right, they might not have the in-game management. That's where I think you need someone. Okay, Kerr wouldn't be for me in that role, but maybe
No.
Chris Hughton would be still. Have that on the sideline that you are, you can look at the analysis. Yeah, let's change this. Let's do that. You want to set up a certain way. Just have a bit of faith in what we're putting through our kind of coaching pathway in a sense. I know that sounds very FAI speak. It's not. I've got no allegiance to the FAI in regards to that. I haven't come through any kind of FAI courses like that. I just think that's something that I think we have to help promote Irish football, that we've got to endorse that. So I have no problem. I want an Irish coach getting it, manager getting it, and someone familiar with Irish football, because it is unique. You have to be able to get the understanding of the League of Ireland and the intricacies of that, schoolboy football, have the figurehead kind of doing that messing around, and then have good coaches. And it's not that complicated, because these players are playing week in, week out. They can come in and take tactical input on board.
Yeah.
And then they've got to adapt to it.
Okay. One last topic we'll talk about, and then we're going to open up to the comments. So raw people out there. Johnathan Hill. John, your mate John.
Breakfast
Johnathan.
buddy.
Breakfast pal. Yes, he was in a little bit of bother, if you believe the reports, that apparently they had a board meeting today, the FAI, and they thought in the Independent, Johnathan Hill's future as FAI chief executive under threat ahead of board meeting on Wednesday. They've had the board meeting and basically never even came up. It's it really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think it's timing. I think it would be very negative to make those changes now. I think there's too many kind of what is it? Balls in the air, basically juggling. They're juggling the pathway. They're juggling the women's games coming up now. It would overshadow that. You've got the senior manager to come in. You've got still probably some stuff with the Oireachtas coming up. You've just had a new sponsor announced. I think it's probably not the right time to do it. I think they need to get everything organised, and it's typical FAI. That's what they need to do. So I don't think they'll make changes now. I think it would overshadow everything else they're doing, and they're going, "Oh, this is still uncertainty." It's not a good time for it. But I think I can't see Johnathan Hill being at the FAI very, very long at all, to be honest.
It's also very, it's coming up it is the 27th of March, and they said early April. So we are literally 4 or 5 days away from finding out who the next Ireland manager is going to be.
They said I thought they'd just changed it the other day. It was going to be end of April. No,
is it end of April? Is it? I
so.
missed that. There you go. There you are, Martin.
Yep.
There's your flowers. Well done. You corrected me on something.
Apparently, I heard that the other day, but
conjecture. Well, we've had enough conjecture during this. Right, Martin, are we ready for the comments? Are you ready,
yes,
Martin?
We are. Yeah.
Right, here we go. Let's delve in. I've already seen a few comments aimed at me there. What else is new, eh? Well, new in York. Hopefully, you are home safe, or you're on your way home. Should it be John O'Shea? Let's masturbate about. We are. I've done it again. I've done it again, haven't I? Yeah. Well, we've already done that. Well, Martin's certainly done it. Here we do it again. Ori, that scarf. It is definitive proof there is zero quality control like a story. How does it go from design to floor shop without anyone noticing that football is spelled wrong? Absolutely spot on, because it won't just be one. This is what he's talking about for late viewers. It won't just be one. It will be the batch. And it's poor, and hopefully the FAI go in there and kick some arse. But as Martin said earlier on, the FAI are aware of it, and they are having conversations, and I hope they do. Hope they get a discount or to get some money back or something. Cantona's Cat, how are you doing? Roberto Di Matteo has been ruled out by the FAI. Thought for a moment the FAI, in their desperation, had done away with secrecy and were frantically whining and dining him in the Viva. It was a bit strange. A friend of mine, John, if he's watching, my fellow Irishman over here in London. Not like you, Martin. He actually is Irish. Sorry.
Didn't someone get in trouble today for that kind of comment on, and you took great offence on Twitter saying these names aren't Irish?
Didn't that no.
And you said a horrible man. You said he's a horrible man. No,
no,
not you.
No, that was Nick. He was also born in England. No. I said, yeah, take Martin with you. I actually did. I said, can you take Martin? Because somebody responded. I think Rob Pella, Pelly, good man, Rob, by the way, if he's watching. It was lovely to finally meet him and have a chat. But yeah, he's, he went through, somebody went through all the names, like O'Leary and Townsend. And I says, can he, he can keep Prendergast or something like that. I said, Martin, I've got your back, pal. Don't you
Yeah.
worry. Oh, it's all a bit of fun, but no, yeah, it was pure nonsense, pure racist nonsense, actually, from some idiot on Twitter. It's always some 40-something-year-old who can't spell, can barely string two sentences together. No, not me. And basically, yeah. Do you know when I got the bus home from O'Connell Street, bus driver? The bus driver actually got in front of me, got racial abuse by some drunk twat.
All right.
Not
Nice.
like, yeah, just not. No, I mean, it's all racial abuse, isn't it? And
Yeah, yeah.
he's just like, oh, you need to go back to the airport. And I thought, oh, he doesn't go to the airport. And then he's, oh, I'm sorry, but too many different, and I won't go into that. Just horrible,
Yeah,
horrible bastard. Anyway. But yes, going back to Cantina's cat. Yes, no, he's just there because he is Swiss born, which I didn't know. Which Connor, I know he's watching, brought to my attention. So there you go. The knowledge. Cantina's cat again. Smollix was definitely easy on the eye. Good man, Cantina's cat. We'd love to see how he'd fare in the Premier League, but sure is there. Yeah, I thought he was really good, wasn't he? I sort of, I said he was a bit like a Peter Beardsley. You don't really know what he's going to do. Like he's just everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, capable of a bit of magic and stuff. Yeah, like I thought he brought real quality to it, and yeah, wanted the ball, and yeah, it was just a bit frustrating. I don't want to get too technical on it, but like we would go down the side, and then we'd end up coming back. We didn't whip enough crosses in. That was disappointing for me, and that they stifled that quite well. But like, he was definitely one of our most attacking threats, and it's with regret I look back and think, God, and then some of them games where we needed that type of player, how he wasn't involved is absolute criminal. But it will come out one day. We need Dave McGuinness on because I think he has a bit of scoop on.
He does indeed, yeah. I mean, he did say that he wanted to play in November, but Cane's big, so I don't know. Great fart. Story lads, good man, Graham. How you doing? Story lads, Saturday, decent performance last night, bad performance. Basunu poor. Keller has to be number one, man. Did you see that there? See what he wrote there? Keller has to be number one. Should O'Shea get it though? No, but typical FAI, he will get it probably. Well, funny enough, Eamon Dunphy, Graham and Martin. Does he write for the Mirror and the Star? I think he writes for both of them actually.
He's in the Star, definitely. Yeah,
but he's also in the Mirror.
Scathing today of Johnathan Hill. Oh, I should have took a photo of it. It was good.
In the Star.
Yeah,
I have it.
Brilliant.
I should have it. Yeah,
it was good. Like you said, it wasn't foreigner, but it was like the overlord, something like that. The absent landlord or something like that.
Yeah, yes.
Good.
He's right. No, he's right though. I mean, it's a ridiculous situation. Yeah, he doesn't care anymore, does he? He said Brian Kerr's just a mascot.
It was weird, like, could you see where Brian Kerr was? I know they showed him on the screen the other day, but he just did in the tunnel. Did you see that?
Yeah, but he had an earpiece
right behind. Oh, did he?
But he had an earpiece on the Belgian game.
Fucking wasn't listening to you, was he?
No. No, but I don't know. Was he communicating? Like, he wasn't communicating with O'Shea, but I'd imagine one of the side coaches, like your Rennie Gilmartin, would have been linked up. A bit of a Sammy Lee going on. Do you remember Sammy Lee at Bolton?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing some good things here, Jeff.
I remember years ago. I'm a flashback now. Terry Venables used to ring down. He used to watch the England games up in the stand, and they telephone down to the bench.
John Gregory as well with Villa. Ron Atkinson used to do it, and he used to actually
view of that, didn't they? Yeah.
He used to commentate. Ron Atkinson used to commentate Sky for the Zenith Data Cup
systems.
Yeah, the ZDS Cup, and he was commentating on Sky, and then he'd go down like, "Oh no, we conceded here, lads. We need to go down." It was mad. But yeah, he was communicating with somebody. To be fair, I was just listening to the commentary. I don't know. Irish Jedi, the Irish sport have had enough of the TV pundits on Virgin Media. It's clear the manager's background dictates the narrative. If Stephen Kenny was in charge, we would be told pretty football, no goals, no wins. I think he's right there, Irish Jedi, and that's why you have Lansdowne Roar, by the way, because we'll give it to you straight, and we'll let you have your say as well for free. I think there's a point there, and even against I was a lot of my mates were telling me about they were watching it at home as well, and the Belgium game, they were saying like, yeah, you'd swear we just battered Brazil like 5-0 the way they were going on. It was just this absolute like, it's brilliant because we're all mates, and that's how it works, Martin. I'm sorry, Brian Kerr.
We know that. Like you could have said to Brian Kerr in November, can you believe that you're actually now in the tunnel, part of the backroom staff of this Irish team again? You'd never
underwhelming,
absolutely nuts. So I was talking to Jason about it the other day, saying like to read Paul Rowan's the team that Jack built, because Irish football's been nuts like this for years. Don't be surprised at all by what goes on, and it's just incredible. And yeah, look, it is John O'Shea is going to have a lot of goodwill because he's a decent lad. And he'll get time for that. But brutal honesty then won't come in. There won't be a lot of people upsetting him, and it feels a little bit like Ollie at Man United. Everyone wanted him to succeed, all his mates and stuff, because Ollie's a good guy. John O'Shea's a good guy, and I think that's the danger of putting good guys in charge. You have to be a horrible bastard as well, and we haven't seen that from John O'Shea yet.
No, and I need to,
but yeah,
and he hasn't had to do it. Like we'll know. Look, as I said before, unless he's been told something we don't know, this is a maintenance squad. You don't expect them to be too experimental. I wouldn't have been.
That was the question you asked me earlier. Was I happy with the subs? No, but I can understand that was a bit of a PR thing from him. Putting on O'Dowda and Sykes is a reward for them being in previous squads. That's what it is. Like it's not his remit to put on. All right, Finn Azaz, he capped him, but it wasn't his remit to put on Jake O'Brien, play Joe Hodges, and anyone else. It wasn't.
Yeah,
I think the one player probably would feel a bit pissed off over the camp, and you would wonder perhaps what his reaction would be. Obafemi didn't get a look in at all.
Yeah, that's not going to go down too well.
No.
Him. And especially when you're crying out for a goal.
Well, you think of the strikers who were out of squad as well. Bene's injured, and Parrott wasn't there as well. And
yeah,
all of a sudden,
you see, I disagree.
Robinson wasn't there. Who's the forward who wasn't played?
But can I just say though, like playing Coleman for a game because his first game back in a year, yeah, but playing him twice, I don't understand. Playing him twice for 90 minutes, I absolutely do not get. I'm not against Seamus Coleman. In my mind, I think he is a legend.
You're being a bit harsh there. Coleman's
not really. I mean, yeah, but what about
wasted?
Coleman's mustard, yeah. Okay. That is a good one, to be fair. Yeah, but what about Festy Abasselli? But you got
get out of Connor, did you? You didn't get out of Connor last night.
No, we had other things. It was a moment. Without you bastard.
We had munchies.
We did, James Agnew. Thank you very much. He did actually give us munchies. He actually threw in some munchies. Good man. See, James cares about us. Martin, you just shout and give me abuse. Next time I see you, I want a packet of Smarties. Standard. No, but I don't understand Festy Abasselli's exclusion. I don't understand why he didn't get a subs appearance in both games. I don't understand why Jacob Bryan didn't get a subs appearance in either game. I don't understand Michael Obafemi that you said yourself. Great point, by the way. And I think that's actually, Martin, to be fair to you, that has gone completely under the radar. Michael Obafemi, it's not as if we're banging in goals. Do you know what I mean?
He needs the love as much as Evan Ferguson. You could say he had to move away, didn't he? He needs a bit of love.
That's why I don't. Yeah, and that's why I don't understand. Now that's why I kind of think that he's not being told he's getting it, if he is getting it, because it was very safe, too safe for my liking. Some things I got, but the whole Smolix thing, put it to bed. Seamus Coleman's out for a year. He's showing up again. Yeah, get him in there. Maybe wrong. Maybe right that wrong. Maybe that Kenny. If you see it that way, you get that. But then you've also got to look after the lads that are coming over, that are trying to get into the squad. Like you, Jake O'Brien, he deserved even 5 minutes or something. Finn Azaz, 5 minutes in the game against Switzerland. He should have come on much sooner. And actually, we looked a lot better.
Lively. Yeah, he did.
So that's why I think now, if he's been told, and if we hear, well, yeah, I was told that, and that's just and they're the sort of substitutions he's making, I'd be very worried. Very worried indeed. I'd like to think if he does get it, John O'Shea, we don't know if he will or not, genuinely. And he was like, well, no, I was told after the 2 games. Then, okay, we'll still have, we'll have to see kind of moment. But anyway, we'll move it on. Cantona's Cats, much difference between your Burnleys and your Blackburns, really? Finally, I'm delighted for John O'Shea to have got his chance to manage Ireland. He has dressed very similar to Kenny too. He did look suave. I must say about O'Shea, he looks the manager. He does look like a manager, and he
Yeah.
does act like a manager. I will give him that. He doesn't look like somebody in Phoenix Park, as I said before. Irish Jedi again, lads. Even if the FAI had messed up the process, would you be getting on the phone first thing tomorrow morning to Gus Poyet based on what you have seen? No, because it just went out to a Georgian team who were down to 10 men.
No.
And the way he conducts himself, there are certain aspects of, when you see, when we saw the Greece team, they were aggressive, they were nasty, something that we completely need. We just weren't with Lambs to the Slaughter when we played Greece twice. But no, I think he brings too much baggage, to be fair, and he always falls out the club. Have you ever noticed that, man? He always falls out where he is. Graham Farrell was my birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Graham. And they couldn't even get me a win, bastards. Are you happy, Martin? Are you happy now? To John O'Shea. Happy birthday to you, Craig. We hope you had a good one. Well, didn't win. Daniel Granhan. Have we ever seen such a long wait for a manager in our history? Also, how very few big names managers we can get. Our best possible pick is currently Gus Poyet and John O'Shea. Yeah, I have never known a manager that the FAI, Martin, in recent times, I've never known them to have an interim manager. I've known them to have an under 21s manager when there was a friendly or the end of a campaign when a manager's gone, i.e. Steve Staunton, and Mick McCarthy in 2002 when Don Gibbons took over twice, and Noel King.
Noel King, yeah.
Noel King, give him the job. Noel the King. But I've never known an interim manager. I think John O'Shea is like probably he's not the first interim manager. Is Alan Kelly, senior?
I think he might have been, yeah.
I think he was interim manager. Raw Faithful, that's one for you. I could Wikipedia, but doing a show. Irish Jedi, and also just on your point there, yes, Daniel. I mean, that's kind of where Irish football is at the moment, and I don't think the two matches really did much to improve that, to be honest. Irish Jedi, Brian Kerr was brought in as technical advisor and gave several interviews criticizing the previous regime. Would like to have seen him analyze the Swiss first half in the studio. Yeah, and I think you're absolutely spot on, Irish Jedi. I think it just goes to show you how fickle some people are. And Brian Kerr, I like Brian Kerr, great underage manager, very, very poor senior manager. I don't want anyone to bring up the record because he never did it against any teams of importance, never did it in the competitive matches. But yeah, very bitter towards Kenny. I never quite understood it from the beginning. He was. Oh, we get more comments from the beginning.
No. I'm listening to you because you don't like Brian Kerr.
Well, I just, I'll go with David Dunphy on this one. People reckon he was he shouldn't have been fired. He should have been fired. Now he should have been treated better, but yeah, he wasn't up to it. Anyway.
No, I just why it distracted me a little bit there. Right, we are behind. Fuck, we're in the rankings.
Ireland, this is now.
Yeah, Ireland are 60. Where are we? We're 62, but we're behind like Burkina Faso.
I couldn't even point it out on the map.
61. We're below them. That's mental. How's that happened?
Because we're 60...
I know the rankings are shite, but that's
we're 62nd. It's not our lowest ranking. We were 70th under Martin O'Neill. That was our worst ever.
What's the highest? Were we 8? Were we
sixth?
Sixth.
92 when the rankings came out in 1992. December 31st, 1992. We were 6th. So there you go. Probably would have been first. No, not first. Probably would have been like top 4 if it had been released a little bit sooner. Remember Jack's first couple of years. Phenomenal, by the way. Went like 2 years unbeaten. I actually found a graphic of it and put it up there. I remember just shits and giggles. I was just going through, and I was like, "We're unbeaten for 2, 3." Incredible. I mean, the team he had as well. Graham Farrell, Marto, all over John O'Shea there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did say thank you for the support.
Yes. Well, whilst you're making your grab for, yeah. Please play, Colin, please. DJ Herb 543, how you doing? Hi lads, what's your thoughts on the 2-match ticket bundle? It seems like the FAI are going forward with it for the foreseeable future. It's quite controversial among the fan base. Should they bin it? How you doing, DJ Herb? Are you a new? If you're a new subscriber, welcome, very welcome here. Great question. I think they have done it for a while. They have done it for certain matches. To be fair, big matches, haven't they? They did it like back in the trap era. They started doing that.
Yeah, yeah, it's been going on for years now, but I mean, it worked
They
out
pick the moment.
the other way around, didn't it? Was it the New Zealand one and the Holland one recently?
Yeah. They
And
did it
then
with Montenegro in Italy back in like 2009, and then
yeah, so this
you got
this way it ended round the wrong way for them. So you had the high profile game first,
yeah.
and then that's why they decided that they would sell tickets individually last night. But you wouldn't have done, they wouldn't have done that the other way around.
In my
So
opinion,
it's shite.
in my opinion, look, I get it. Martin and I fly to the games. We live in England. That is actually probably handier than coming up from the country. I'm not having to go during the week. That is probably handier. Take that time off as a holiday than going after work and people traveling up. I mean, James Agnew in the writers group there, he only got home like stupid o'clock.
Mm.
That's a big commitment. And what they should have done was, in my opinion, they should have had a match bundle at a discount, but cost you more to buy them separately. But as a bundle, put them together. That's
Yeah,
what I would have
do
done.
selection options for it, without doubt. But
Yeah,
all it is doing is actually making the fans the ticket agent now, because lads are buying tickets just to kind of get that first one, and then they're just getting rid of them, or they're selling them off cheaper or whatever, and it's just complicating things. You're getting a lot more hassle getting into the games and stuff, because tickets can be copied and whatever it is and sent out and whatever it is. But it'll be a pain in the ass for the England game, of course, because it's a high profile one. And look, I know they've got to make money and stuff, but it's not good. And the problem is they can't do it deals on them. So that game last night, they couldn't sell that last night to just say like £20 a ticket, €20 a ticket, because they're basing the rate of the ticket in the game.
and it's a
Sorry,
slap in
John.
the face. That's a
Well, yeah,
slap in the
because it's
face
season
then for the
tickets.
people to put. Yeah,
Yeah, season tickets. You're working what you'll get tickets for, and why would you bother buying a season ticket then? Because you don't really want to go to that game.
yeah. It's a tricky one. I understand it though. It's no easy answer to it, Herb. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of it. I get it. I understand it. Because they need money, but I think they need to. I don't think they should stick with it. In its current guise, under its current guise, I think they need to have a look at it and kind of a tweak of it. I think they should offer the two together at a discounted rate, or it basically costs more. It should be a deal. If you get the two of them together, it should be a deal. But they have to keep in. They have to keep into account that people are traveling up from the country, and it's not that easy. It's not like in England, where you got trains all night, and you can get up when they're not on strike. You can get up to London, and you can get back to like Birmingham relatively. There's buses. It's just about a transport system. Like basically, people driving up in the cars and are in work the next day as well. So anyway, Martin Fitzpatrick, Belgium had no interest. That's very true. Saving themselves for England by the looks of it. Irish Jedi. Whatever manager comes in, I'd like to see the three at the back system binned, play with conventional wingers, and Sammy in the number 10. He thought
I've
we'd be
no
crying out
problem.
for.
I've no problem with the back three, to be honest. As long as you use your wing backs as they're supposed to play and get them playing down with the width and pushing on. That's what we've seen them struggle today, recently doing. And that player who plays in number 10 is going to be important when teams come and just sit in and defensively. That's where Sammy's going to be very, very good. It was also a player I thought for that role is Brady, technically excellent. So he would offer that creativity. Another one I was hoping was going to develop into that player was Troy Parrott. Even Evan Ferguson, glimpses yesterday of, coming from deep, he's a bit more creative, but I think he's going to be the target man, isn't he? I also want to give a shout out to Adam Ida. I thought when he came on in both games, I thought he was absolutely really, really good. The willingness to run behind. I think he's going to get a lot of confidence from scoring in Scotland in that Mickey Mouse League.
Ooh. Oh, that's controversial. Send all you hate tweets to PrendyM at PrendyM on Twitter over there. And you can also read this article on Lance and Roar, and you can send him more hate on their comments. Just give him what he deserves. Graham Farrell, jet lag. It's a 50-minute flight, you planked. It's not.
Dave tires easily.
I do, Graham, and you have to understand when you are a creative butterfly like I am. You know, you have to be shrouded. You have to be comforted. You know. To be fair, the flight from City Airport with BA is phenomenal. I understand why you do it a lot now, Martin. I was sad that the next one is with fucking Ryanair. No, it's EasyJet to Portugal. Anyway, Graham Farrell again. Why can't Sammy play in the number 10? He's way better in behind than playing wide. I think wherever you play him, he's really good. But yeah, I mean, him and Andy Moran, I think Connor was telling me, and there's Connor there. This show is no good without Rep Tracker. That's Republic of Ireland Tracker on Twitter. Martin, your now nemesis. But he was saying, Andy Moran, him, he's not utilised where he should be at Blackburn. He's played out of position there. But him and Sammy Smodics, Andy Moran again, also didn't get, or Joe Hodge didn't get a sniff. Why bring him in from 21s and not get a sniff, Martin? Just saying. They played well together at Blackburn, albeit out of position. So yeah. Don't really know what my point was there, Martin, to be honest. I'm sort of just gone on a ramble.
No, we know he can offer that, but he was trying to get more kind of legs in midfield. He's going to do kind of the donkey work, close up the gaps and things. That's what he was thinking from him. So he kind of had him out wide then. But he is going to be creative, and I think in them games, as I said, then when we're going to have more possession, he's going to be the one to unlock the door.
He was on the left, wasn't he, against Belgium, and then he played him on the right. Sam Smodics. No matter where you play him, in behind, left, right, he's just somebody who can make things happen. I think he's going to grow into it, and I think he's going to be a bit of a Ray Houghton as well. God, Peter Pearson and Ray Houghton, I'm comparing them to, but I think he'd be a bit of a Ray Houghten for us in terms of getting important goals for us. Irish Jedi, do you think Chris Hughton as the figurehead with the current staff could work? Will take away the experience criticism of John O'Shea? No.
Yeah, I think it's feasible. I think that could be possible. Yeah, I think it works into the equation of the contract being in April as well, because he would have had a link with Ghana, obviously, and pay and contractually being due pay when it comes to an end. Not really gardening leave would be the wrong kind of word to use, but that kind of stuff. If you take a job when your kind of contract's still there, you're not entitled to all your money. So yeah, that could be a valid thing with Chris Hughton.
I think it will be Chris Hughton. But he wouldn't. I don't think it'll go down well if it is him. I think there'll be some that'll go, oh yeah, brilliant, clap, 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 steady pair of hands. But I don't know. I think McCarthy would have got the juices going. Roy Keane definitely would have got the juices going. I'm not saying I want Roy Keane as well. I think if Chris Hughton gets to be a bit of a really? Don't know. When you see the style of football he's played at his club, it's very defensive, not easy on the eye. I mean, it's kind of like what we saw over the weekend. Graham Farrell, Charlie O'Leary, what a legend! Definitely met him once. Looking great at 100 years of age. Irish Jedi discussion off the ball last night was that we might benefit from a foreign coach with a completely different outlook on the game. Feels like we definitely need a tactical rethink. Well, I mean, yeah, and that'd be your boy John O'Shea gone.
No, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think this thing of the pathway stands out with me on that argument, because I think they've got to have faith in what the Irish model is and what that Irish coaches can deliver. And we've been down the trap route in the past, and yeah, it got us to a certain kind of thing. But we're kind of revolutionising Irish football now, and how we're trying to develop players. So it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take money. We can argue all day about the facilities and things like that, but that's what they've got to put into place there. And I was actually talking to someone last night, and he said it's just a shame that JP McManus is more into horse racing and Limerick hurling than football, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Kevin McGuinness, I look good. Playing a scoring regularly at club level has helped him no end. O'Shea, next manager, should use him more. Graham Farrell, we were so standoffish against Switzerland last night. Nobody pressed at all. What's the point of bringing Eberseli if you're not going to play him? Exactly, Graham. Exactly. Don't see. He should have got minutes. You're not going to convince me, Martin. He should have got minutes. Glenn Forbes, thanks for a great show, lads. Thank you, Glenn, for watching. I've lost all faith in the FAI after the Johnathan Hill fiasco. I wouldn't be surprised if they're hoping these two friendlies weren't a disaster so they could just offer the role to O'Shea. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer. The FAI situation is just so disheartening. Martin, some words of encouragement for Glenn Forbes?
Yeah, keep the faith, Glenn. Keep the faith. We're at such a low ebb. I think we can only get better. And to be fair, going over to the Island games the other day, I was actually looking forward to it. I hadn't felt like that for a long time with Stephen Kenny. We thought it had come to an end with Stephen Kenny. Yeah. I think, a fresh kind of voice in a sense, John O'Shea, and even the excitement of having Schmodix coming into the squad, Finn Azaz coming in. It was exciting, and they're players who have been playing, and we argue all the time that you should be playing. People giving them opportunities, and they got them. And to be fair, Schmodix, that's a fantastic international debut weekend for him, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's played really well in both. He's shown that he's at that level, basically.
I would have given him man of the match, but there you go. But yeah, it's the friends. Like, it's a job for the boys, though, a little bit. I have to say, we saw it with Staunton and Quinn when he got the job. I don't like that. It's just. Anyway, Graham Farrell, if you pack the midfield, you isolate Ferguson. So it's a catch 22. Great movie, that. And that's catch 21. Catch 22. Yeah, sorry. I'm rambling, Graham. Bazunu was awful for the free kick. Was his post. He should have saved it 100%. I get what you're saying there, Graham, but when the opposition when you're not doing anything and they're overrunning you in midfield, you got to stop it. You got to cut it off, because otherwise you are going to get punished. And they did score from a very poor free kick, and then that was it. He kind of didn't really have to do anything else after that. Greg Farrell, I think in the last qualifiers, Kenny played them in 4 games each. That's shite. You have to have a consistent number 1. If I remember, Graham, he played Callagher. Didn't he play Callagher in the Nations League back in 21? But that was because Bazunu was injured, and Callagher hadn't really played for Liverpool. He was kind of on the bench, if I remember correctly. I think Bazunu had an injury. He was injured in training. Rossi Dunworth, poor pressing in the first half. Desperately need a midfielder who can bring a bit of creativity to the team. Our only attack is crossing it in for a hopeful header. Every player is like a deer in headlights when they manage to get a ball at the feet in the box. That just seems to be something, doesn't it? Like, we do, you see how different Switzerland are when on the ball. It's just like ping, 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 ping. And we just freeze up, and it just looks so unnatural, doesn't it? Look, I don't know what John O'Shea can do about that. To be fair,
isn't it? It's technical,
yeah,
basically, and we didn't get it in the box enough. I didn't think. Mixing up's all right, but we never really, like, we went long, didn't we? And we got the knockdown to Schmodix on the weekend. We didn't do enough of that last night. We never really went long and saw what Evan offers with that. I mean,
do you think
run behind?
Do you think with some of the players that they were just kind of worried about the weekend? Don't get injured for your clubs.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that really comes into professional footballers' mind now. But like,
really,
one thing that really frustrates me, right, is in the game. If we were in 85th minute 1-0 down and we got a free kick on the halfway line, we would all be going up, and you'd be pushing up, wouldn't you, to try and put it into the box and play to your strengths and have Collins up there. When it's 25 minutes, we don't do that. I've got no problem with that. Like, I don't understand. Like, then we just knock it around. Like, we're not good enough at the moment to play good football and break teams down. Yeah. So I don't see why we try. Like, I don't see why we don't put them under pressure. I know it's very cliched, but I don't see why we don't look for that. Like, at times we would do it in the 85th minute. I don't see what the point of not. Why don't you do it in the 25th minute when you've got a free kick inside the box, instead of playing it around the back? And inevitably they come out and they close, and we end up going to Bazunu. It just pisses me off. That, like, I'm amazed.
Under Mick, during his first tenure, he gets stuck in. I know it's very rudimentary and it's very sort of caveman football, but there's something about
it gets results.
But like, get stuck in, hit them early, let them know they're in the game. If you in the first couple of minutes, you get somebody running on and you set the tone. I always remember Robbie Keane. Do you remember against Spain in the World Cup? And he just kind of ran in, didn't he? And he hit it ball and it just went past the post. And you're like, oh, yes, we're up for this, lads. And that just set the tone. I mean, it wasn't on target, but
It's exactly it, but that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like I could moan all day about modern football, right? But even the goal kicks when they all back in the box. Like to be fair, on Saturday they at one stage, John O'Shea again shouting from the sideline, and they were just pulling them up, and they made Kelleher go long ball with it, which is like a traditional goal. This is just it's Pep and Klopp and
mm,
brought that in, that playing out, and Arteta playing out. If you haven't got the players to do that, you can't do it. Like, don't try and do it. It looks lovely and pretty, but it gets you nowhere. Like sometimes you just have to go a bit rudimentary on it
yeah,
and go like that and play to our strengths. Those teams don't want to have to. It's exactly what Jack saw in '86 World Cup. You put the pressure on them. You play in
uh,
their half.
difference
It's
is though,
not
Martin.
long
We
ball.
we we could have played football. That team could have played football.
No, I know that, but we got
We
results
won't
doing
get
a
we won't
certain
go down
thing.
we won't go down that rabbit hole. But that
Mm.
team, if you had believed in it, you could have had a Paul McGrath, Dave O'Leary, centre back, Mark Lawrence,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all playing defenders. But you just, that's a different podcast. Peter Fry, how about the Mateo the game and in at 11-1 Paddy Power due to this? Nah, nothing to do. It was just there. Born in Switzerland. Graham Farrell, O'Shea's well going to get it. Not the best appointment, but we're skint and the FEI are dragging the say. Saw the highlights of the Greece Georgia. All Greece did was kick lumps out of Georgia. How they got to penalties, I don't know exactly. And yeah, I think it'll be Newton or it will be O'Shea. That is my opinion. Kevin McGuinness, Gavin's still developing at this point. Kelleher should be number one, but they saying Bazuna is living on saving a penalty against Ron a few years ago is guff. He will be a Premiership keeper soon. No, I mean, I think you're taking out of context what I'm saying there. He's clearly going to be a good goalkeeper, but just right now, when the whole argument was coming up with Kelleher, for me, international football is about getting you players that are in form. There is no club, Ireland Club FC. If that's a miss, that was something that came in under the Trapattoni era, where, and to be fair, I'll say to Myth. Now I'm going to come back on that a little bit because there have been players over the years that have played better for a country than a club. I saw Andy Townsend's name mentioned. I can't think of the guy's name for the Star wrote about that. I suppose it's true. Certain players play better for Ireland than they did for the club. But I think when it comes to the goalkeeper, it's about a match sharpness and it's about confidence. And to be fair, Kelleher was the man in form. So why wouldn't you go with him? If there were qualifiers, he would have had to have played both. It's just people were saying, like this fella over here that I'm looking at on the camera, saying that, but Bazuna, you can't drop him. He's been the number one. What's he done? Well, he's not entitled to it. If he's not doing the business, and he didn't do the business in the last game, hopefully he'll bounce back from that, and I hope he does. But it just seems to be, like, what's he really done wrong? We do have, like, my point was, we do have a habit of doing this in Irish football. I'm not saying he's just remembered for the Ronaldo save, although Martin would probably disagree with that. It was Bazunu blue top he's wearing there. But it's just we tend to do this in Irish football where, but no, he's okay. That we don't really like to see changes sometimes. I think I've explained that. I think. Farrell, Turkey's under 21s drew with Italy. Under 21s tonight keeps our hope alive. Graham Farrell again, knowing the FEI, it'll be the middle of June when he appoint a new manager. Colin P.O. Fiad Habra. Fiat Habra? I might butcher that, Colin. I probably am. I think I do. I butcher everyone's name. I butcher my own, sure. Even lads, it's been a while. It has been a while, Colin. I hope you are well and enjoying the program. Just through it, the thoughts of whatever manager is being discussed is grim. I don't even know what to think about it anymore unless someone appears out of the blue. Probably will be somebody out of the blue. John Murphy, I think we should play Scales or O'Shea as an inverted left back, which in transition becomes a back three with Collins and Amabambadelli, which allows Doherty to bomb on while playing an extra midfielder. That's an interesting one.
All this tactical kind of movement stuff. They're professional footballers. They can adapt, and in game can adapt as well. That's the thing. So all these things, they obviously have a formation in transition, like so where they're attacking, and then how they all sit in and stuff. Like at times, even just because he was taking set pieces, you could just see like Robbie Brady being on the right hand side of the pitch, and he just slotted in. and then when the game resets, the ball goes dead. Then he's kind of trotting back over. They're professional footballers at the end of the day. They know what they're doing, and they can kind of cope in a way. Like it's a small little margin sometimes, though. You can get exposed on that. Just
Yeah.
one person kind of being moved around like a chess piece in that position where he's unfamiliar, and the ball comes at a certain angle and he makes a mistake. I'm kind of thinking even Josh Cullen mistake against France. Just that ball came out and it got nicked off him in the long shot. It's just that kind of little intricacies that can be the fine margins in football. But yeah, look, they should be able to adapt tactically.
As you said, professional footballers. And Nick always said it as well. Like, it doesn't take a lot to get professional footballers to pass the ball around in
No,
space.
complicated.
Yeah. Call him again. I always thought Keller had a bit more about him, but Bazuna is a good backup. I agree with that. He is a good backup. Robert Maher, Gus Poyet, contract up now. He is 4 days now. 4 days. Just through under 21s and a good chance of Italy drawing to a last minute equaliser to Turkey. Under 21s more exciting than the seniors at the moment. The team against San Marino was a very good line out.
Yeah, San Marino though. Let's be honest. I mean, that's 7-0, and they look lively and stuff. I think Sinclair Armstrong's certainly someone I think I'd like to see in the senior squad in June, and Bosun Lowell. I think Connor said it last night, didn't he, as well?
Yep.
I would fast track him in June for those two friendlies and see what he's about, because it's a problem position, that midfield. I want to see Finn Azaz getting more time in there in June as well, and of course Sammy Schmodic's getting more time probably in that number 10 role. I'm going to put it out there now. What was it? 27th of March, 2024. Sammy Schmodic's first goal against Hungary. There you go. Get your money on now.
There you go. Graham Farrell, Sky wasn't around during the ZDS Cup. Yeah, it was. It was. It was around. Sky was around in '89.
Yes,
started in '89.
Yeah.
Sky Sports in '91.
Chelsea, Forest, and Oldham used to always take the Zenith Data System Cup.
Yeah,
quite
that's
seriously.
That's why Keane didn't make his debut for ages.
Mm.
Hold on, ZDS Cup. Yep. It went up to 1992. There you go, Graham.
Yeah, maybe the confusion there is the Premier League started in 90.
Oh, are you one of those, Graham? Are you? Football didn't exist till 1992. Is that what it is? Is it? Colm says you're. I jest, Graham. I jest. Colm, you're anti-Coleman, Dave. Be honest. No, I'm just pro. Oh, I think Coleman's a great player. I think when he was a great player. Definitely on the decline. No. I mean, like
Seamus Coleman now for our regular listeners is the new Robbie Brady.
No,
who Dave retired 3-4 years ago now, Dave.
No, I'm not.
Did.
No.
Just to kind of let you know, if you like what you see, love what you hear, subscribe to the podcast, and we have got the whole back catalogue, so you can go online and check that out, and you will find in many of the episodes, the previous episodes, you will hear Dave putting away Robbie Brady. That is a fact. A factual fact.
Archive is now going to be mysteriously deleted or hidden until it blows over. No, I am not anti-Coleman. I'm not anti-Robbie Brady. Don't be listening to Martin. You guys know me. I love Robbie Brady. I said hello to him in the airport. Probably a good thing he doesn't listen to the podcast. That could be interesting. But about Coleman, no, fabulous player in his day. Just as he was reaching that, I thought he was getting to the stage of almost being world class. Genuinely phenomenal under O'Neill around the 16-17 period. I thought he was brilliant. And just as he looked like he was going to get a move to like a tippy top club, like a top 3 or top 4 Premier League side, probably the best fullback in the Premier League for a couple of years. And he had that horror leg break, and he's never the same after him. And don't get me wrong, the fact that he's still playing professional football after that, and it was horrible. I watched that in Hamburg, is a testament to him. But look, football moves on. I don't believe in sentimentality like this fella over here, Martin. Like you pick players because you save a penalty in Portugal. I joke. I kid. It's what I do. No, but he's 35. He's 35. And you know what? Somebody mentioned he showed pure class even when Stephen Kenny dropped him. You look at James McLean, when he was out of the squad, threw his toys out of pram. He totally threw his toys out of pram. Seamus Coleman was dropped, left out of squads, and he still, when he was brought in, he showed up, and he just was pure class. Never kicked off. Showed the young lads exactly how it was done. He's professional. He's a leader. He is a leader. He's a fabulous player, but he's 35. We have to be realistic here. Vesti Ebicelli is the future, so we need to get him up to speed. We know what Coleman's going to do. I was all for giving him his first game, 90 minutes perhaps, but don't start him in the next game. But that's my opinion. No, great player, but he's 35. Hopefully that explained it. John Murphy, Obafemi is a bad egg. Oh, John.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, speaking of throwing your toys out of the pram. No, I don't think he's a bad egg. I think he's just a bit immature at times. Obafemi has been, but he seems like a good lad. And when he's on, he is on. He is exactly what we need as well. If you had him, Evan, Troy, and Sammy, and Benny, John, like, you have them playing the way we know they can play. It's not a bad outfit, up front.
Yeah, I think he's not technically good enough, though. I think that's the only thing with Obafemi. The way we want to play, and you got the pace alongside. I don't think he can do the job of Ogbene and Mikey Johnson. I think he's more of a power player up front, and we're not really playing that way now. We want that figurehead of Adam Ida or Ferguson, who's going to hold the ball up, or and give us a bit more. Whereas I think he's the kind of power player with it, and he's going to have moments. He'll score goals for us, but I don't think he's.
Doesn't he? Do you know it's kind of unfortunate? You'd really like two top teams, Switzerland and Belgium. This is where you kind of want your Latvias and your Lithuanians, isn't it? Really. Get that bit of confidence up. We're at a low ebb. I know they were going on about how we don't really, we need to play in the top teams. Yeah, when you're flying, we're not flying. We're not even starting. We're on the runway. Do you know what I mean? In fact, we're sitting. We're at passport control. Not even that. Like, we haven't gone through security yet. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That's where I'm not having a go. Well, I am having a go, but you know what I mean. Like, we need the confidence. And unfortunately, under Kenny, when we did play those teams, we surrendered like 2-goal leads. It was mental. Latvia and Armenia, wasn't it? Or Azerbaijan, we surrounded 2-goal leads. It was crazy stuff. But yeah, and hopefully somebody just get Ferguson's confidence up again. Colin Burton,
that's a load of rubbish. That's just spam. Delete that.
Oh, well, maybe I do want to beat the bookies, Martin. How dare you? Block in Colin. What is with Collins? I blocked Colin Burton and I deleted his comment. So piss off, Colin. Why call O'Brien up, who's been flying for Leon, and not play him? Was no need to play players you knew about. That's also, again, I can understand in the first game, but he should have got minutes. Here we go.
I get the point. No, I get the point. But we don't know everything that goes on in camp, and you just don't know what pressure they're on. They're coming carrying little niggly little injuries.
There you go. Look at him there.
I'll be honest. I wasn't 100% fit, and that's why I wasn't available. So but I did. John said
defending his mate. Look at him there, Martin.
Be here in June. Some of it, I know. Look, the photo there. Some of the Castore stuff is quite nice, to be honest. I like the lime green. That top
I want that top.
Pretty class. Yeah, it's very nice.
And you don't sell it.
It's not. I know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, and it's very expensive. And look, just wait for it to be reduced.
I'd wait for it to be reduced, but it's fucking on sale. I'd buy it. I would buy that top. That looks the business.
Yeah,
that looks the business. And I actually would buy that. I love the zip on it. Class. And I love, actually, I've seen that crest looks like it's kind of plastic. It looks really, probably fall apart after the first wash, but still, pure class. I have lost.
Do you remember you used to have the Mick McCarthy photo on your desk? I'm going to print that one. And for your desk, the one of me and John.
One of you and John, yeah.
I call him.
Josh.
Shazy.
Okay. Great. Sorry, I lost my bearings there, but we're back here again. Graham Farrell, Noel King. I'd rather Don King. How dare you? Don't. I will not sit here and listen to you besmirch the goddamn good name of Noel King. Fabulous manager. I work for the FAI. Remember that?
Mm. Oh
I,
God,
I
yeah.
actually I actually do work for the FAI. I write
Yeah.
an article, so technically I'm on a. Did you read my articles, Martin? Let's
You
talk
know
about
what?
me.
I didn't. I have to get the match program from yesterday. And just on the subject of, I told you this outside. They were because of the quality of the articles, they did a very good deal yesterday. They
Yeah.
were selling both match programs, obviously from Saturday and then last night's for a tenner, which was a €4 discount. Because they're €7
They were
each,
the
which I don't
unsigned
think
version,
they
Martin.
can't be €7. That's madness. But no, I have to pick up last night's. I didn't get one because you know. Well, you've only got, what did you have last night? 35,000 was it in the stadium? You've only got 35,000 fans there. Why would you sell programs inside the stadium? It doesn't make sense, does it? Fucking clueless. They only have them on sale outside, as far as I could see.
Yeah,
Correct me if
that's.
I'm wrong, but that's fucking useless.
I didn't see them there. That's a major problem there. You got to sell the programs outside. Sorry, inside, outside. Sell them. They do sell them very early now, which I like. They have them out there. Had those young lads out there earning their money.
Yeah,
And I bought a couple on the way in as well because I like to
you
give
could
some to
have
my nephews.
that with that kind of level of crowd. Even if you went and gave someone a box of programs and they walked up and down the aisles a little bit like at a American sports where they love doing that, don't they? But you sell a load of them. You know what? Apparently they just go and pulp them. They don't even, you know.
But you know what you do? You put them
I'm just annoyed with it now.
if you have
That's
a club
shite.
shop. If you have a club shop, you keep them,
Mm.
and then you like when I used to go to the Liverpool shop, um, in 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 the city centre, they used to have programs throughout the whole campaign. You used to go and if you missed one, you could go and get one.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not just things like that?
It's ridiculous. No,
Yeah,
no,
like you
it's
discount
another
them.
thing they get wrong, but they don't seem to listen. And
I, no.
albeit they did the little deal and stuff. But no, I did. I thought it was your program, your one the other day, your insight was very, very good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's on the first one was about the match today, the England game, the 1-1, and then the one after that was the 4-0 in Cyprus. Yeah, the one with Roy Keane was absolutely phenomenal,
Yeah.
to be fair. But anyway,
I must see though if I can get that. I must be able to get it, mustn't you? You must be able to. That was it. Like, so that's your. I'm just going to hold up the program there. That's your meet your men's national team staff. That was a good
yes,
little page in it. I can't see you there, Dave. You're not in that little bit, no. But your program was good. I thought your article was very good.
page 19.
Connor's is very good.
No.
Oh,
Page 19.
Adams. Oh, Adam. I like Adams' thing on Joe Hodge. That was interesting as well. It was good. Adam's a good lad as well. Give him a shout out.
Wasn't Mick Megan an interim manager till Giles got it permanently, Martin?
Yes, he
Put the
was.
program down now, please. Concentrate. We got a podcast to do. He wasn't he? Was Mick Megan the first he was the first manager post Big Five. I
Yeah.
believe he was. Because used to be a panel that used to pick him. Now it's Virgin Media. Daniel Mullen, I don't think Kerr thought Kenny should have got the job in the first place. Yeah, probably still, I reckon Brian Kerr is a bit like your man, in Father Ted. Sack me. I made the FAI.
Yeah, very, very much.
Yeah. Mark Fitzpatrick, remember Stan? Probably alluding to, I don't think John O'Shea could be as bad as Stan, even though Stan had a much better side. Difference with Stan. Look, we actually spoke about this last night, Martin. Stan tried to be the cool uncle, and he did the stories that came out there. I think John O'Shea is a bit more like a father figure. Now we need to see more. Make sure he doesn't become the cool uncle, but yeah, I think that's the problem with Stan. That was one of the many problems with Stan as manager. Danny Mullen, I think Kerr thought Kenny shouldn't have got the job in the first place. Oh, that's being repeated there. Next Level LFC. Good chat, guys. How you doing, Next Level LFC? Good to have a bit of support here. I thought Collins came out the best of the bunch over the last two games. Needed more experienced manager. Who's that going to be? I'm not too sure, to be honest, at this stage. I think it's going to be Chris Hughton. I don't want Chris Hughton, but I think it's going to be Chris Hughton. And if it is Chris Hughton, I will support him. Of course, any manager who gets it, even if it's Gus Poyet. You think it's going to be a shame, Martin, don't you?
Yeah.
There you go. But thank you, Next Level LFC. You seem to be a new subscriber, so welcome to the pod. Shane Brown, great coverage over the last few days. So thank you very much, Shane. Didn't see last night's game, but biggest positive of the win was Sammy Smollick's. Biggest disappointment was Jake O'Brien not getting a run. Bigger picture, FEI look a bigger shambles with each passing game. Yeah, need a new manager, need new ideas. They just need to put it to bed and then make Mark Hannum's life a little easier. Daniel Granahan, guys, what's your thoughts of Rio Ferdinand being at the showgrounds of Sligo earlier today, hosting a mini football tournament? Could this be something to improve grassroots football in Ireland? We don't need to have a futsal side, do we?
I don't think so. We did before, didn't we? I thought we did, but yeah, look, I've seen this. I haven't read much into this about Rio being there. But yeah, look, you know, I think we have heard Rio talk about John O'Shea and his
And
endorsing him really. Yeah, Ollie was at the wheel, wasn't it, and all that, give him the contract. He gets a bit carried away, doesn't he, Rio? But yeah, when I was getting a bit confused because Rio, Brazil, all that kind of stuff was on my mind over the international window. I was hearing a lot of stuff about Brazil, but I didn't really get what was going on then. That's just...
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. It's like fucking doing a podcast at Bob Monkhouse over there. Jesus. Oh, God almighty. Yeah. To be fair, like I think we need to get, you know, someone like Rio Ferdinand, he's a big name, to be fair. Talks utter nonsense a lot of the time, especially upon the great player though in his day. And yeah, somebody to come over and, you know, a lot of clubs do that, don't they? They do take the initiative and they'll get over somebody like a Rio Ferdinand. Did you see what was it? Whelan, Steve McMahon and Ray Houghton, Ronnie Whelan, Steve McMahon and Ray Houghton were in the Gravel Arms in Mullingar. I've eaten there many times with the family. Mad. But hopefully it is something to improve grassroots football. I'm not really totally sure what it's about, but it's probably to bring a bit of prestige, hopefully, to the Bitter Red at Sligo. That's their nickname, Martin, in case you're wondering.
Nice.
Yeah, at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go next time I come over. I'm going to go to League of Ireland games. You told me you fucking hate it. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything else. We'll move on.
Yeah, no, that is not true. I do not hate League of Ireland. I stand for the little guy. Hold on, where are we again? Jeez, I keep getting lost in these things. Yeah, actually, I have been to a League of Ireland match. Have you ever been to a League of Ireland match, Martin?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
What, Enfield Town?
Went to a few Kilkenny City games. Waterford, I went to them a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah,
those,
yeah.
And I went to...
Was your mate John there?
I seen Dawson Devoy playing. I saw Dawson Devoy playing.
Was your mate John there? Not John O'Shea, the other John.
No, and I went to one of the best ever games I went to was St. Pat's many years ago against Rovers at Tolka Park. Very good. 1999.
Where were you playing at Tolka Park?
St. Pat's were playing there. Oh, it was played at Tolka Park.
You're talking bollocks, aren't you?
I'm not talking bollocks.
You just got two teams. Oh yeah. You know the Pats.
I'm telling you, I know. And
I talked to
what was the song?
You're talking bollocks.
Malloy. Was there a player Malloy who left? And they were calling him a junkie.
Why was it at Tolka Park? It was good. Though? That's Shelburne.
It was at Tolka. It was played at Tolka. Maybe it was Shelburne, St. Pat's then. But it was
talking shite.
It wasn't Shamrock Rovers. I stand corrected. Shelburne it was, but St. Pat's. But it was brilliant, crack. And I can't remember the song.
Man's never drank it. Man has never been to a League of Ireland game in his
1999.
life.
I went there. It was the same. Yeah. I'll look it up, and I have looked up in the past because someone was talking to me about it. And the fans, they lit the St. Pat's flag. No, the Shelburne flag got lit up by St. Pat's. And they went, they burned our flag, and people done a bit of a pitch invasion. Very exciting. Very, very good. And it was around the same night as the night before or the night after Man United, the 3-2 coming back against Juventus in the semi-final of the Champions League. Roy King, because I watched that in a bar off Grafton Street because I was listening to some fucking poetry on a field study course thing that with uni.
There you go. I asked him about League of Ireland match. I've got his life story.
That's what I went to.
Actually, probably was actually. Graham Farrell's made a very good point here, which I forgot. Would have been actually during Rover's homeless years. and it was Trevor
Molloy.
Molloy.
Yeah, fucker. There you go. I was fucking right.
There you go.
Yeah,
This.
there
See,
you
lads,
go.
this is
Thank you,
why.
Graham.
This is why
See,
we don't cover
they were
League of
calling him a
Ireland.
junkie. That's
We.
it.
Oh
And I thought it
yeah.
was very funny. It was brilliant. That is, I'm so glad. That
They
is
slag off saying
clipped. That's being clipped because that's fucking.
they slag off Pats, yeah, because of the whole Inchikora thing.
Thank you, Graham. My favourite
We haven't got a
subscriber.
fucking clue, have we, about League of Ireland? We haven't got a clue.
I've got good
really
football
don't.
memory though, that I remember that. Considering
Yeah,
numbers. But yeah, it was good.
yeah.
We had a police escort. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I bet you were in there, were you? I bet you got an orange to fucking put smash up a coffee shop.
Great crack it was.
Yeah. Singing 3 lines. Anyway. God, poor Daniel, like, we just completely went off on this question. We're sorry, Daniel. Hopefully there's something to improve grassroots football. Because it needs it. But yeah, no, a bit of prestige there. I'm not sure what it was about, actually, Daniel. Didn't get a chance to see it. I just saw the whole Shea thing. So if you got a bit more information, do share it in the comments. Graham Farrell asks, why do we bring players in the 21s when they're never going to be used? Probably going to end up hampering 21s. 100% agreed. Did it with Andy Moran with the Holland game when he was supposed to be the captain against the under 21s. I'm kind of, I suppose there was no game anyway this time round, but yeah, it just seems pointless, It's not as if like we're pulling up trees, you know what I mean? But anyway.
No, but he did say, to be fair to him, he said at the start of that camp that he was going to bring him in. So.
Yeah, but play him.
No, just have him around the squad and let him have an experience of it. And fair play, must say hello to Joe Hodge's dad. He does follow the pod, I believe.
Good man.
Good lad.
Call him again. Carsley wouldn't have got any juices going. Well, he would have got myself and Connors going. Big advocates there. Daniel Mullen, if it's Chris, we're going nowhere. He did so poor. If it is Chris, we're going nowhere. We'd not go far. Look at Ghana at AFCON, I think is what he meant to say there. Finn Azaz was man of the match for Connor. I had to actually calm Connor down in the media section last night when Finn Azaz came on. I didn't know which way to look, Martin. When O'Dowda came on, you probably combusted, did you? And then had Connor beside me there getting all excited. Luckily, we had some spare tissues. Daniel Mullen, our best style of football is hit the big man from kick-outs and play for the second and third balls. Feed the scraps, Daniel. That's what we need to do. Graham Farrell, everybody wants to play like Guardiola. Fuck that. What's wrong with mixing it up, going wide, getting the wingers, taking on fullbacks, getting in the opposition's faces? It's a simple game. I think so. I agree there. Play the ball when it's needed. Get in their faces when it's also, play the game where it's needed. Graham Farrell, Stephen Hunt played better for Ireland than he did for Reading. Think he's Trapp's love child. Never got to play the Euros, though. Euro 2012. Connor, Bosun, Lowell, and Luca Connell will help solve the midfield problems big time. Connor predictions are unmatched. Are you laughing at Connor?
No, I'm laughing at your name. Repeat the first name. Name him again, and then pronounce the name.
Bosun.
Yeah, surname.
Lowell.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Back
Everyone
listen
back. Listen back to the podcast, and you can
listen
to the first pronunciation.
Listen to me put Prendergast back in his box. Great Farrell response to Carter. Luca Collar can't even get into the Barnsley team. Chelsea beat Man City 5-4 in the 86 final. That
ZDS.
ZDS. Good man, Graham. Next up, LFC. I think a 4-2-3-1 for this Ireland setup is right balance, in my opinion. 3 at the back is 2 defensive, and we don't support Ferguson enough. Like Benny, Smodics, and Johnson as the 3 behind Ferguson could work. That's an exciting 3, to be fair. Graham Farrell, I still watch the big match revisited on ITV4 and March of the 70s on YouTube. Sometimes prefer to today's football. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It was crack. It was good crack. Graham Farrell, I was at the game where Coleman broke his leg. Taylor should have been jailed for it. Do you also remember John O'Shea almost had his leg broken by it was a similar challenge in the same game by Gareth Bale, but unlike Coleman, O'Shea's foot wasn't planted. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
and you're right. It was disgusting. It was a disgusting challenge. PGC, how you doing, PGC? Yeah, I think you're a new time subscriber. Welcome. Coleman, great servant, but long past his sell by day sums up state on the squad. I think there's a bit of credence there. Next level, LFC again. Ebicelli, Collins, O'Brien, Scales as a back four, Collins and Smallbone in a double pivot. Kelleher as goalkeeper. Good man. Good man. I like this next level LFC, guys. He's talking sense, Martin, isn't he? Your silence is deafening. PGC, we are desperate up front, 0 goal threat. Yeah, so why not give up Femi a go?
Didn't shoot enough. And I made the point after Saturday. I watched very closely the warm up against Belgium, and Evan. I made the point actually on another post because I can't have people slagging off Evan Ferguson. He's 19 at the end of the day, but technically that lad is his execution of shots is unbelievable. It was yeah, he will come good. Like he will come good, but you got to give him time. He's 19 years old, but we just generally Finazaz when he come on, he could have had 2 or 3 shots and he didn't. Schmodix should have shot a few times as well. We've got to shoot. You don't shoot, you don't score. That's very cliche, but it's a fact. And yeah, we were very poor in front of goal. We've got to shoot.
Yeah, bit more confidence. John Muckian, yes, get Festi on. He's playing week in and week out in Italy. What more does he have to do to get game time? Agreed. Column, Ferguson is hyped due to Prem. Ida and his Mickey Mouse League currently looks more dangerous. Yeah, Martin. Very disrespectful towards...
Just a quick one on Ferguson note. Like, he's ahead of the curve, isn't he? He's 19 years old, scoring goals in the Premier League. All right, he's gone through a dry spell now, but you don't do that unless you've got something about you. And Troy Parrott didn't do that. Aaron Connolly had a couple of goes at doing it, and then he went off the boil. Evan Ferguson's done it, and he's just out of favour at the moment. He's learning awful lot. You've got to remember now he's playing against absolutely top international players week in, week out when he does play for Brighton, right? So, and they will look at him. He's a threat. So they're going to look and how they stop him, and it's going to be more difficult for him, and he needs more support from his teammates. Yeah. But I can't have people writing him off and saying, "Oh, he's a flash in the pan," because you don't do that in the Premier League without having something about you.
No, the boy's the real deal. It's just whatever's gone on, and hopefully they'll unlock it. Colm also says that I do hope Ferguson comes good, by the way. Oh, of course we all do. Oh, some people don't. Gavin Clark, what team would you go with against Hungary and Portugal if they were playing them next week?
11 Kelleher's if we had them, according to the Liverpool supporters club.
No, I'd actually go with Callum O'Dowda, in fact. Yeah. I'd have Callum O'Dowda left back. You don't fucking think. Of course not. No, I to be fair, I play Festi right back because we know about Coleman. I stick with Robbie Brady left back. Now this is including, I'd probably pick. Yeah, I'd probably
Jesus, that's 10 seconds of silence. That was fucking bliss, everybody, wasn't it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, it depends what formation you're going to play. I'd probably leave the back 5, except to have obviously I'd have Kelleher in goal because that's a no-brainer. I'd have Ebicelli right back, and then I would probably look at it, and I would probably go with Cullen, and probably go with Cullen, Smallbone, and O'Shea in the midfield.
O'Shea.
Maybe go for
Darragh O'Shea.
Sorry, not Darragh O'Shea. Jason Knight. I always get those two confused. He looks so fucking similar in my head.
I should have said nothing there.
You should have said nothing. Do you know what? No, I'd go 4-3-3. Fuck it. I'd go 4-3-3, and I would have Amabambadelli. I would have Collins. I would have left back Brady, right back Ebicelli, and I would go with a midfield Knight, Cullen, and Smallbone. I'd probably play. Yeah, I'd probably play Smodix in the number 10 role. Probably like in the box with. I don't fucking know. I need to have a proper think about that one. I'm killing the podcast. Let me come back to you on that one. I'm killing the podcast today. It's dead air. I'm not good with. It's been a long old day and jet lagged. Graham Farrell, €7 each per program. Fuck me. I know, what a bargain. What a bargain, Graham. I'm totally with you on that one. Like
signed copies are going for 5.
with a shaky cross on him from yours truly. No. So, listen, you've got to pay with quality, Graham. Come on.
I did ask you to sign mine last night, and you refused. But that was after the little kid you sent packing and wouldn't sign for him as well. That was the big time.
I'm not gonna fucking sign him for free, Martin. Come on. No, nice article in the program, David, but €7 is a rip-off. I know. Should be charging you 10. Little info on the opponents should be a bit like our podcast. Should be a team lineup on the back page or even an ad from a main sponsor. Instead, there's pointless FAI logo. I do agree with that. They used to do that when we used to get the squads down the back.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Neil Fenton, if it's Gus, I will turn up the next game in my tracksuit. Graham Farrell, which League of Ireland team do you support, David? Roberts, probably? No, Pats. Although, actually, geographically, I'm in Clondalkin, so it's quite... Yeah, it'd be Pats. Pats would be closer. There you go. What team do you support, Mark?
Kilkenny Carlo, because Kilkenny City don't exist anymore.
No, they don't. Can't compete with the old hurling. Irish Jedi, would you be worried if there isn't a high-profile manager and results continue? There will be general lack of interest in the national team going forward. I don't think there's much of a general interest in the national team at the moment, if I'm honest with you. There's no atmosphere. Remember when Ireland games back in the day?
Our fan, sadly, this is something that does worry me. It is dwindling, the support of the Irish football team. Like, all right, they sold 35,000 tickets last night. A lot of youngsters go, okay, they're given tickets probably as well, but they don't have a fucking clue because the interest there, the player profile's not big enough as well, and the results haven't been there, and that's the big shame of this negative kind of spell we've had, is that fans just aren't engaging with I listened for about 20 minutes last night of a group of young lads behind me daring another lad and trying to do a whip round to dare him to run on the pitch, and and trying to convince him that no, you won't get fined, you're not 18. That's what they were there for. They were so bored of it all and didn't have a clue about Ferguson shouting for red cards and fouls. Just shite. Like,
no. What did you offer, Martin?
Nothing.
I'll give you €20. Go on.
Just shut up. But it was just look, the fans are not engaged with it at the moment, and that's why I think Evan Ferguson is important as a profile name to do well in the Premier League, to keep that up there. Like, we remember Duff, I remember Robbie Keane.
I don't know how it's happened. Well, I do know how it's happened, but rugby now is like the people's game in Ireland. And I'm like, what? Not against rugby, but like it's always been like a middle upper class sport in Dublin or Leinster, what I remember.
You'll upset Nick now.
Oh yeah, now I'm getting a private little text there. Well, he's from Malahide, sure, proper upper middle class up there. I'm a scally from Clondalkin. Our pastime was robbing cars. Not that I ever robbed a car, by the way. But there wasn't anything to do. Graham Farrell, he's a Pats fan. Good man, Graham. Both Pats fans. Neil Fenton, you guys need to start League of Ireland pod. It would be hilarious. Be less knowledge. bit like a Chelsea stadium tour, really, wouldn't it? Just be like 2 minutes. Any Chelsea fans out there, I do apologise. Kieran Dewsbury Hall at Leicester is eligible for Ireland. He would be worth contacting, says Irish Jedi. The name's getting bandied about a little bit. Probably watch those games. Gavin O'Cleary. What else is Graham Farrell saying? Oh, he's saying all sorts of stuff, Gavin. All sorts of stuff. I understand people saying we should knock it long when we look so average in possession. But in reality, playing into channels of flick-ons, you're just giving the ball back to teams who will keep it. Yeah. Graham Farr, what are you smoking? He's the best player in the league. He was out sick at the start of the season. I think that's about... that must be about Finn Azaz, is it? Or no, Luke O'Connell.
O'Connell. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Cheap Heat Productions podcast. It was 2 decent performances, but nothing worthy of giving O'Shea a shot. We need to play to our strength, and we've seen glimpses of that under John. Good man, Cheap Heat. Daniel Mullen, we keep forgetting Evan is only 19. Very true. Very true. Martin doesn't. He keeps banging on about it. Don't you, Martin? How old is Evan Martin?
19.
There you go. Great fan. He's a good player, Ferguson. He's suffering with confidence and is in a poor run of form. He'll come good again. And he's also in a club that's got a very poor run of form at the moment as well. Cheap Heat Productions. Again, Sammy needs to go central for sure. Irish Jedi, I think Adam Ida has really matured as a player. Hold the playing general confidence on the up. He does look a player at times. Times I was thinking maybe League One, this lad, but he's really come on. Neil Fenton Ferguson looks like he's lost weight and not as physically imposing as earlier in the season.
Yeah, just on that though, I think he probably has to do a bit of work on that, the conditioning. I think, I know he's a growing lad, he's 19, Dave. But I think he has to really think about that now. He has to kind of think what kind of player he wants to be, and physically how he can be ready, and I was just thinking of that conditioning today. So hopefully he will come good without a doubt.
I think you will too. Cheap Heat Productions, love the show, by the way, chaps. Very fan friendly. Thank you very much, Cheap Heat Productions. We are the voice of the fans. We give you your say. We're the only podcast that does it. We'll give you your say. We don't just pontificate. We listen and then pontificate. If you disagree with us, we'll cancel you. No, none of that here. Well, unless you're your man with the bookie thing that we just blocked. Graham Farrell, Martin, we all dream of a team of doubters.
We do.
Great show, lads. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Irish Jedi. Colin again, not too sure about your love at El Festi, but Matt Doherty's been rubbish at right back, and he would still go with Coleman, 35 or not. Well, we need to see him. We need to see Festi. Just he's not really getting a chance. He's playing for Udinese week in, week out in Serie A, so I don't know. I agree with Doherty. He's been terrible. Terrible. Cheap Heat Productions. Again, maybe we should recall Connor Salmon for the long ball. Smolix running off of Salmon would be a dream. Do you remember when he got the Man of the Match award and he had like Papa John's pizza?
Oh, jeez, yeah. God.
Not a bad award, although, burning all those calories. Graham Farrell, Kelleher, Abaseni, Jesus Christ. I've managed. It's been a long week. Kelleher, Abaselli, O'Brien, Collins, Manning, Cullen Knight, Johnson, Smolix, Benny Ferguson, 4-2-3-1 simples. Good man, Graham. I couldn't. I can't even pronounce names. Never mind. Fucking think of a lineup in my head. David H. Hi lads. In your opinion, do you think O'Shea has done enough to get the job? And if not, who out of those managers linked would you like to see get the job? Well, mine was Carsley, so I'm fucked.
I'm John O'Shea and Chris Hughton. That's where I am now at the moment. And I don't want Lennon coming back in near it. And I don't want Gus Poyet. And I don't want Di Matteo. And I don't want a foreign manager.
No. So, wow, it's a bit racist, Martin, isn't it?
No, I don't. I want an Irish manager.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Another interesting thing is the under-21 manager that's just joined. Not the manager, the assistant's just gone to Bowes, hasn't he? As manager. Alan Reynolds, I think.
Reynolds, yeah. Yeah, he was also assistant
That'll
manager.
Be a thing now. We will now have a new assistant going in with Jim. And I did see someone ask on a post we put up and saying, I know it was someone messaged us, Dave. I don't know if you read this. Do you think there's any feasibility to Jim Crawford getting the senior job and John O'Shea going to the under-21s? Nick, it can't have been a Nick Burner account who sent that because he doesn't like Jim Crawford. But that can't happen. No. I'd leave Jim with the under-21s doing all right. And look, for me, John O'Shea or Chris Hughton, with John O'Shea as part of the backroom staff.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I wouldn't be mad at, and I have said this, I wouldn't be mad at John O'Shea getting it, unless there were circumstances and a rug got pulled out of, whoever the FEI had lined up. Because all this talk, it'll be February, then now it's going to be April, and then it's like, well, actually now it's John O'Shea, and then it's like, well, hold on a second, what contractual things? What are you talking about? And they come out and say, well, actually, it was supposed to be Carsley, but he's up. He wanted to stay the under 21s.
But explain it like that. That's no problem.
They just need to be open and honest about that because for their own good as well. I know that happens. That is football. People change their minds at the last minute.
All they have to say is we were considering different people who've come through the pathway. John O'Shea is one of those people in consideration. That's the person kind of we wanted, and Kazi was as well. And Kazi has that more experience with the under-21s. He doesn't want to move away from England. That's fine. So now we're going to go to John O'Shea. He's done very well. We're very pleased with how he's done in those 2 games. This is a young, ambitious manager because he's said himself, he thinks he's able for it. Get behind him. Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard all had opportunities on the back of their name and went in as all right. Did stuff underage. John O'Shea has coached underage and managed teams. He's worked with Man United underage, things like that. They cut their teeth. It's just high profile. They haven't.
Yeah.
Rooney did very well. Lampard did very well with other teams. It's going to take time. It's learning on the job, but it might well suit him.
Who knows? But yeah, if John O'Shea gets it, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think it's got to be Chris Hughton, but I don't want him to get it. Column real rugby. Sorry, David also says, the Rovers. Column says, rugby, real Damo and Ira stuff. The old gives a vitamin G there, Martin. The old rugby and the old D4. Column again. Speaking of Carsley, Whelan was on the management team the other night. Good old Glenn Whelan. Yeah, he was a bit of him and Carsley were very similar players. And one last comment here. Gavin Clark, Jimmy McGuinness, Dave O'Leary, Ryan Giggs, Brendan Rodgers. Jesus, Ryan Giggs. How about that? Jim McGuinness. Donegal manager?
Yep.
He did go into football. He coached the Celtic for a bit, didn't he? Dave O'Leary.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
20 years gone. Too far gone. Brendan Rodgers. I'd take Brendan Rodgers, but can't afford him. Not going to happen. Oh, right, lads, we're going to leave it there. Well, we've gone about 25 minutes over than I thought we would, but that's it. That's what we do. We riff. Colin says, we do riff. Colin says, no slagging Jim. No, we're not slagging Jim. Colin must be Donegal, man. Well, that's what we do. We come on here, we sort of have a little chat, and we let you guys have your say, as we always do, and we're going to leave it there. It's been a hell of a window. A week traveling now, back to the grind, I suppose. Martin, are we going to be back this Sunday live 9:30? What do you reckon?
No, Easter Sunday, Dave.
Oh shit, yeah, it is, isn't it? We need to have a conversation. Martin and I are going to we're going to talk amongst ourselves when we go off air, but we're not sure when we'll be back. But do keep posted on our social medias. As I've always said, guys, if you like what you see, love what you hear, hit the subscribe button, head over to YouTube, head over to our Facebook or Instagram and our Twitter. Do give that QR code a scan. We have it all there for you. But try and give the YouTube channel a subscribe. We're trying to get that off the ground. Fantastic window. In terms of coverage and meeting everybody, it's been wonderful. I had a great time. Martin, you had a good time?
Yeah, great. Thank you for everyone for your support. It really is appreciated. We do love you, the Lansdowne Raw Faithful.
The Raw Faithful, indeed. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. We're not sure when we will be back. Hopefully, we'll be back at some point.
We've got lots of stuff planned, Dave, haven't we? We just need to do a bit of planning on some things.
We have a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah,
a lot of feedback from people as well, and there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline that we're working on. It just takes a little bit of administrative work in the background.
Yeah.
So, but we will be back, and we've got some good series lined up as well, and big anniversaries coming up.
We do indeed. Can't wait for it. Anyway, I'm David Dunn. He is Martin Prendergast. This has been Lansdowne Roar. We bid you good night, safe home wherever you are watching around the globe. Good night, God bless, and come on, you boys in green.